Quickly go to our Facebook and follow us. We're streaming virtually so that you can see the face or faces of our guest, the face of Ezeikolomuo. Some of you want to see him. Fine gentleman who just decided to answer the call of nature. Okay, we also have evangelist Christian Chukwanyo, who is also a fine gentleman that decided to answer the call of nature too, in his own way, in his own right. Okay, so we get started. It was 2 weeks ago on this edition of the newspaper review that we were talking about ritualism and powers. Okay, we talked about African power, we talked about magic, and some persons here in the studio said no. Even our listeners said that there is nothing like magic, or there is something like magic, however, that it is scientific, that everything we see the traditionalists exhibit. We talked about someone in the masquerade, and we could see the fire on the masquerade, or the masquerade lit on with very serious fire, but you see the being in the wearing that mask come out. And I was saying that these are magic. They said no, it is Africa, it's our own science, all right? And that argument ensued from ritualism to magic and to all of that. And I said no. Also, people said no, it was God who created these things, and there was nothing they did. It just like Odeshi, a man who would say, oh, they are going to do some things for themselves so that nobody can kill them, or bullets will not be able to penetrate in their bodies. So we're going to have this conversation this morning. Okay, on my left this morning is Evangelist Christian. Good morning, sir. Please, I'd like you to say good morning to the audience.
Good morning, everybody. God bless you.
Okay, we also have Ezeikolomuo. Good morning. Please greet the audience.
Yes,
you take him on Igbo. So, Mr. Charles, take on Igbo language, right? So that I would follow up with the evangelist on English, right? While we all do this together, of course, Afam and Mr. JK, if they have anything they want to ask and all that. So, can I be done with the magic and asina power ndị Igbo ife niile ndị Igbo na-eme ndị dibịa ndị omenala na ife niile bụ magic ha nwa wee sị na ọ bụrụ magic no science. So ka ọ kọwara anyị ọfụma ka o doo anyị anya wee kwukwa ife gbasara rituals ndị boys anyị na-emezikite. A lot of our young boys are now into ritualism, and they believe it's the fastest way of making money, and people said it's a thing and people said no, it's not a thing. I mean, all these things are the things we need to understand this morning. Please, Mr. Charles.
Ndewo Ezeikolomuo, ihe a na-ekwu okwu ya bụ na anyị na-ekwu na mmụọ n'ihe ụfọdụ a na-aga na-eme akpọ ya magic, n'ọkwa n'ihe a bụ sayensị. Ndị bekee na-emere anyị sayensị, eme nke a asị na ọ bụ sayensị. Kedu ihe enwere ihe dị iche na ụmụ ihe sayensị a ndị bekee na-eme na nke ọdịnala?
ndị be anyị daalụ nọ. Ọ na-akpọ okwu afa, ọ na-enye example, ọ ya ekwe wee kọwaa. But once I na-enyere example, we are skating around issues. So
can you example? Example I knew that day was na mmadụ ga-etipụta mmọnwụ bụrụ mmọnwụ anọkata agbo atie mmọnwụ ahụ kerosene nwee ya ọkụ. The kerosene enwebe na mmọnwụ, but onye kpụ mmọnwụ esi na the mmọnwụ wee pụọ ha wee sị na ọ bụrụ magic not science.
Okay.
Yes.
The thing is, I'm so I won't fall into the if the buy and wait among.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't expose the secret of the masquerade in the public. And everything that is shrouded in mystery is supposed to last. The problem with Ndeba is that Ndeba is shrouded in mystery. Some of us are trying so much to demystify it and to belittle it. Man, EJ know you have shrouded their own in mystery. I say that the world was created in 6 days. You don't want to use your own brain to deconstruct it. Man, ulu hana nkebono, do all your brain. Chetani EJ school, demystify we feni ine. Sure you go see no always you kuno wase. The thing is this: in every culture is embedded with truth and lies.
Okay.
You can't build a culture with only truth, and you can't build a culture with only lies. Okay, how to go? So the question Ejomo now, the very delicate, and like I said, I wouldn't want to fall into if I wait more in public.
Dalo, Ezeikolomuo, onka gosili ibu dike. Maka ka anyị ha wee wụrụ mmalụ mmụọ adata mmụọ n'ọgbọ mụọ na onwe m ọ gbakwumugharị oge nke m malitelu mgbe anyị malite ajụjụ ịta mmụọ ahụ ya bụ ịta mmụọ dịka isi zaa ya ọ balụ.
That Momo is just an example to what we're discussing. We're talking about generally. The argument ensued that magic, as far as magic is concerned, and I refer to it as magic and it's not a thing, and in the studio, Ejike, you and Afam insisted that magic is Igbo people's science.
No, there is magic. Enwe magic. Even
okay,
in
so
enwe magic. Like enwe ke funde mmadu ebulu mili ebulu nkata with mili. Nka ho magic.
Okay.
And magic is all about the more you look, the less you see.
Aha.
Okay, how to go?
So science ko.
If you hot how igwe ke boy magic, enwe ke boy science. Onya hol melienu milia ha gafe or proper scientific feat. It depends on how you want to see it. And equal about 6 and 9. You wake if you are 6, another person as 9. So there are some things that are magic, and we need to define what magic is. Magic is all about illusion. Okay, how to go? Magic is all about illusion.
Is there any spiritual connotation to this magic?
No, magic is all about illusion. You know, trying to outsmart people. That's what magic is all about.
How can you say something is magic when I am looking at a basket that should be leaking?
Yeah.
And then there is water poured inside it and it's not leaking. So if it's science, what scientific configuration made that to happen? If it is spiritual, I don't know this magic thing because I don't think magic can happen without spiritism.
Actually, it defines magic and spiritual power. There is a difference between magic
okay, go ahead,
and spiritual power. Spiritual power is like having the power of creation, creating something that was not there to be there.
Okay.
Okay, how to go? Then magic is about telling you that this thing that I'm creating something, but actually I'm not creating something. But because you think that you cannot explain how I was able to achieve that, you believe when I may create something, man. Actually, when he think creatively, like for example, it may disappear by now. So man, and my ago, man, the actual sense, oh no, magic, it cannot hear, man, because you can't explain it. You believe when your head disappear, go near you, man. A magic, onya cannot hear. Then in spiritual power, it disappear, go. What if I cholo, man, onya made the magic, we go see what was you made that person each no. Or cannot. That's why magic, the more you look, the less you see. Onya hana try no power. Man, no power. If on magic is based on illusion.
Obu no power. How was he able to do the magic? Because you need power to perform magic.
No, if I in a kukuno in a mandocha ne megasia, if only one program kabara narrow effect, and we gabazini ha, and we can see so many people who name this thing is about intellect. All based on how world is it. There is no miracle. Magic abro miracle.
But there were miracle.
Yes, there is miracle. People perform
spiritual
miraculous
miracles.
Yes, now. Okwana Bible, Epuna Jesus walked on water. That's miracle. In actual sense, the person walked on water. Man, no na magic. The person here walk on water. Man, wake up until a plank no bulu. Go amaroze. And they were able to hide it. That magic is telling you that this thing is happening, but or that happened, but because you cannot explain it, you tend to believe it.
That it's happening.
Okay, how to go? But spiritual power do long way. It's happening. You can verify everything. A fear or check. If you need to check it out. A man, when you perform this thing, this feat with spiritual power, just like dividing of water. So many DBs million, even when Anambra here, Omambala here. A Dibia will divide the River Niger. Gafe, Yanandebe,
What's the name of this dibia?
Well, I don't know the name of the Dibia, or I've forgotten the name, but I call them the story now, a village near me.
Because the name will have helped us to, to establish.
I'm coming. Let me just quickly chip in. I think half of me are doubt on car because no Anambra man. But literally, all you believe in casino men in Egypt. But that's on the one side. Then let me
to doubt.
Yeah. But let me now come down. Nijo and Igbo. You could name a monk, which of course based on Asinze and the whole
Based on
but then let me come clear now that Onyocha, there is the difference between what I was trying to say that day now, and then I'll bring my question. Bona Onyocha chopped the secret of ihe apparently monwa use a wear fuel munye yoku monwo oku mana ya nwa no n'ime mmon agbara oku opo. Now because I believe a person do secret, I am share or you share the idea even with one ekori. So he will now live and die with the secret, right? And we can add 100 now to 200 in the event, and that's the end of the day. At the end, Obruda talent will now more. Now when you try a funky, I won't take the whole talent. They be on a table, develop a kuzeli woman or condemn mother in here or laboratory. I'm more because we believe we know question or add their value to the society. Now at the end of the day, no child will go fireproof, both fireproof vest, which energy are fighting fire today. And now I will go from this part of the world, they go those things when I fight fire. Meanwhile, the same power with our people. Never I see no come out in a mix. Going away now
in a mix two things.
Now having said this, he has said when you want to.
You are mixing physics and metaphysics. There is a difference between physics and metaphysics.
Also to go. This is a part. This way all the things that stirred up the argument 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So okay.
In a mix, physics and metaphysics. And the Bible is saying okay. So you don't blame some people that have some access to some, as in metaphysical knowledge. They hide. They no beleng them madoma now. One and I complain about ritual killing. They go no beleng them madoma. See what is happening. Oh yeah? Or for the self, I'm a hawkway man honey claim because people do too curious. And now who Hana lo hego and now Hana Emel Frankan and what if a Utua Brazy or Hotago. So in actual sense, don't want to knowledge, even in physical knowledge, like Russia, they hide the secret of their nuclear weapons. US now hide the secret of their own nuclear weapons.
No, when that accusing
select group. Yeah. Oh, select group. I hand on our top secret. Don't want to now hide if I hand the device in other work now. It when something, you don't expose it because once you expose it, you become weak. Man, nevertheless, even the cool that you must be able to differentiate metaphysical knowledge and physical knowledge. Physical knowledge is what you can explain with science, as in the 5 senses. Metaphysical knowledge is what goes beyond the 5 senses. You cannot prove it in a scientific laboratory.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. But you cannot prove it in the laboratory. So we should not be mixing metaphysical knowledge and physical knowledge.
So, sir, before we move to the evangelist,
yes.
So what it means that there are some powers that are kind of exhibited by traditional
everybody, not even stop calling traditional. Mando, but wonder hey me, what foreign films, all these things are there. It's just that we don't want to see it. We don't have any special knowledge to this power everywhere. Everybody access all these powers. It's just that once in a while you see people that only with metaphysical power or by physics he can explore very well. That's what some of us are advocating for. Some of now use some of your metaphysical knowledge and bring scientific development. Because now what if enjoy those things?
But does it happen? Is it
a ritualism?
Does it happen?
Yes,
I'm telling you it's real. You ask when does it happen? I'm telling you that only with that metaphysical knowledge, physics is really a small thing.
No, sir. What we're trying to say is some people don't believe in ritualism. Some people don't believe that somewhere you can go and go. Is it possible?
We should kill fiction. Ego on a model counter. Let's we should get common sense per se that one.
Okay.
Ego model bolabo counter. Then another thing, if I make money appear from here, honor your money, it means no will ego model means somewhere. Yes. We should be able to
Okay, you use metaphysical power to now invoke it.
This
or something
world,
like that.
world is in order. So you can't break the order of the world.
The nation.
So you might look at us say no. no mele ego pụta somewhere. It's true na ego pụta somewhere, mana onwe ike ọwụ na ego mmadụ efukwakwana somewhere. So it's stealing. Onye ife na gwa no fike mara ọgụ na mmadụ aya afọkọ.
But it's possible for it to happen.
Of course. Why is it not possible? Oh no, the possible na mmadụ ya emetụ na ahụ aja na disappear reappear. Otu an no leba no kwa another place make attend to another program. All these things are possible by location. For someone to be in multiple places at the same time.
Okay.
All these things are possible.
Okay, so it means that all special talent for special people.
Oh, we
can it be learned?
You are here. Your spirit self wake on all another place, not attending to something. You might not know because of your consciousness, your density can be low.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I make it.
This is a lot to take in at once. So let's get to the evangelist. And we're happy that he's a learned, right?
Yeah.
And he's not speaking myopically or
Absolutely.
trying to sound condescending to another person's religion. I think that's what we need to start respecting.
Yeah.
That we can't all believe in the same thing,
Yes.
right? So let's get to the evangelist. Evangelist Christian, we have argued like the pastors have told us, forget this sin and they all magic and wonder they were real and everybody with their spiritual power is not genuine, So what do you have to say as an evangelist, especially in this issue of ritualism? Do you believe as a Christian that it is real, okay? And how would you refer to magic? Like, we gave an instance, a masquerade on fire, and the person who is wearing it comes out without being comes out unscathed. Actually, that's a word. How would you like to put this in the spiritual connotation as a Christian that you are an evangelist? Remember, you're talking to people. You sound convincing.
Okay, we must know that the world itself was created by God, and God is power himself. Though the earth is full of power. In fact, 70% of the created earth is full of the spiritual energy. So there is this energy of the man naturally, even if he's not a Christian. If the person concentrated himself and developed himself, the Bible told us that after God created man, what they did is that he breathed into the nostril of man, and man became a living being. That word breath has to do with air. That word air has to do with spirit. So by nature, man is spiritually endowed. But what happened is that because of some challenges, in other words, I'm saying that every man created has a power.
Okay.
By nature.
Wow.
Even if you don't consult demons or powers, by nature you can develop into something that is intimidating, something that cannot even be explained. Like our father here rightly said, I love his contribution well because he had to say it very balanced. But there is also a supernatural power, a situation when man feels that the challenges he's going through is beyond him. So he needed extraordinary power. Then this time people goes far and wide to attract some certain powers into their system. Just like in the book of Hosea chapter 9 verse 9, the Bible says because they worship these gods and these demons and offer their children to Molech, they deeply corrupted themselves. So people, this ritualism is one trying to force nature and the universe and God to give him what is not due to him at that very time. And for that to happen, the person because man by nature is a custodian of power, and that power is reserved for him and his children. When this man now wants something, he is like a man going to the market to buy something. And when you tell no free food anywhere.
No.
What he will do is that this power will go into him, take the energy that belongs to him, his children and children reserved there by God, and give him a strong another energy that may tomorrow begin to fight him.
Oh wow.
And his children. So that is why
So you're inadvertently telling us that ritualism is real as a Christian.
the people perform rituals and they do magic, like he said,
Ritualism to make money.
to make money.
But he said the money
that
There's
mom,
no such thing. Like the money either comes from somewhere or someone.
it takes power to get it from somewhere.
Exactly. Okay.
Without such a power,
And you believe in that power, and you know that
that
such
power,
is real.
that is why I said that man who could do this went somewhere to borrow power that is not his.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And for that man to do that, that power will take something from him.
Wow.
And when that power takes something from him, the energy that comes out of him will in exchange to that power, and that power he got will reside with him forever. Therefore, putting his future children in trouble, that man may not end well alive. Even if he ends well, his family will be in great disarray, because they have imported into their system an energy that gave them what they shouldn't have naturally.
Have.
Eh?
Okay.
Yes.
And that energy will be there fighting them from all generation. That is why the best ritual one can perform, if I must use that word ritual, the best power is to go into your field and do your best.
Okay.
Wow.
We're going to come back to your field. This thing he said now reminded us of an analogy a traditionalist made in a radio station one time. There was a broadcast that was spread that any man or any young boy who goes into ritualism to make money, that when he eventually does and he dies, that his body doesn't belong to the family. Because it was the demons cast away that they were brought together to make the money happen and all of that. So when such person dies, the person should be taken back to the evil forest instead of being buried. Please, can you throw more light? Because we need to we are not just talking for talking sake. We need to enlighten our youth and inform them
on the process.
Okay, involved.
First, I'm not condemning ritual killing here, and I will not condemn ritual killing.
Wow.
Yes, I will not do that, because everybody is involved in some of these things, one way
Like
or
ritual
the other.
killing, are you talking about human being or
killing
goats
of
now?
goats.
I'm not going to mention anyone you want to, because once you must pay. If you are going to pay, if you are going to bear the consequences of whatever actions or inactions that you involve, why should I now condemn you? Why should I? The only thing I can do is
Just advice, maybe.
It's a free world at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's a free world, and we must be responsible. We will be responsible at the end of our actions and the consequences of our actions. So why should I condemn something that nature and isi kotebu obake if on I follow iwolu men and I as if onye metalo jiri webulu.
But there are people that don't know. They do these things out of ignorance.
Ignorance is not an excuse in the law court.
Oh.
But
I'm telling you,
It's not the excuse anywhere.
ignorance is not an excuse. That's why if on actually
Okay, sir, that was a question she threw at you, looking at the penalty of burying a dead person that engaged in this practice. That's because we had a story where an evil spirit that was, or spirit that we are
evil. Please. We stop
okay, fine, let me take it back.
The spirit. Hold it on. We asked the evangelist if he.
Okay, before
I take it back, do we have an evil spirit, evangelist?
There is good and bad everywhere.
Oh, okay.
If you can't separate, then there is nothing in existence.
Do we have an evil spirit from God?
Evil spirit from God. There is not an evil spirit from
It
God.
depends on the God you are talking.
I know what you are asking.
Because the Bible says that there was an evil spirit from God that
he sent
possessed.
I think it was
I
Saul.
think Saul.
It was Saul.
Okay, so that means God himself can even have
what
an
is-
evil spirit.
What is evil in some,
Culture
definition.
or environment.
If I meet a policeman who doesn't give me what I want, he's an evil man.
So you're saying
If I meet a person who, that evil spirit from God is a punishing soldier. It's a soldier sent by God to punish Paul, and he punished him heavily. God is good. There is nothing evil in him. There's no shadow of turning.
Okay, so
He's
we
a
have to
holy
go
God.
back to Ezeikolomuo. But before we do that, if someone is manipulated and maybe kind of inflicted with a sickness, and the person is brought to you as an evangelist, when you are casting away the spirit, do you say, "You evil spirit"?
Of course.
So that means there's an evil
There's
spirit.
an
from
evil
opposition.
spirit. There is evil spirit. There is light. There is darkness. There is white. There is black. We can't deny this thing. It's very apparent.
There is good, there is evil. There is righteousness in the land. There is one thing you do against despite the fact that we are in a free society.
Yeah.
There is law of the land. If you do the contrary, you bear the consequence.
Yes.
So we will not say there is no evil spirit.
Okay.
There is unclean,
I want to
unclean
come in here,
spirit.
please.
Okay, sir.
I believe that all these metaphysics and all that is about training of mind.
Oh, wow.
Give for example, abụ m ezigbo onye omife Jidofọ agadi wee sị na ama nta mmọnwụ. Ọ bụrụ na abịa kịta somebody mụ na ya dị n'ezigbo mma, if I want to talk to that person, m ga-ebu onye afọ n'obi for some minutes, mbugide ya n'obi, I will talk to him or her, and ebe ahụ ọ nọ ọ ga-anụ ya. That person ga-anụ ya because I've trained my mind. What does it take to train a mind? Wepụta a day, just a day, wepụta 20 minutes, think about something. Or will this fly? Think about it. Chee maka ya, keko si dị ndụ, keko si mee ka you're training your mind. With that, mere another thing, that person will hear it. And all your man and see. Do you believe in that?
That is why earlier when again said, up from that now, it was natural energy given unto man. That all of us were created. We are creations
Yes, you
of,
said
power,
that.
of power. That even without Holy Ghost baptism, that someone can develop into something. And that thing can be even wonderful. It is there from all men. But the problem is that when one begins to go to import of forces into his life in combination to work
has given to you
because of greed or that energy you are bringing in will take away what belongs to your family, and you will begin to pay heavily because there's no food anywhere. So we have the natural spirit, the natural energy of a man.
Yes.
Then we have also the Holy Ghost baptism, which we get when we become Christians. And that is why some people can perform wonders even when they couldn't do before. And then people also go extra mile to initiate themselves into occult, into forces, to get powers, to go to India, to sleep on burial ground, to get into witchcraft, to get powers. And we're saying that whatever you are doing that is not provided for you, given to you by God, you are going to pay. Even that your natural energy, if you use it to oppress anybody, it will come back to you and hurt you. So there is clean energy, there is unclean energy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We have to look at back to you.
Correct, yes.
Okay, why you make that correction, sir? Some people.
Is it correction or stating your own opinion?
No,
or what
impression,
you
there's
believe?
something I believe.
It's not even about my own opinion.
Okay, go
Truth
ahead.
is truth.
Okay.
Truth is truth. That's why in a poesy at times, don't even say that I said so, because truth is always truth. Now, let me say this: good and evil have one source. Good and evil, light and darkness have one source. There are two sides of the same coin. When you create good, you create evil. And I've always said, stop teaching people to just be only good. Yes, people must learn to be good and bad. The problem is, if you do good, we say do good. If you do bad, we say do bad.
Is there any time to be bad?
Yes, there is.
Give us an instance.
Oh, I should give you an instance.
Yes.
And you go with the instance severally. Obelenwa kaliamu egosi nyife. My mate, he's only an elder that should slap you and he won't slap back. It's correction that you are showing the person. Okay, if someone is fighting your family, you send me fold with your hands. Send me ni neche. That person. Because the fight only can cause more casualty. That's the only reason he fold your hands. Man, once no one you will give in a chasing again. If I tell you, power only responds to power. Power only responds to power. So you cannot do good. You cannot do good. Do good. You are being stupid.
So, please, in the spirit of eat good, because eat good or bad, that seems to be what is resulting to ritual killing, where some people will feel that there is a power restricting their flow of money,
Income.
and therefore they want to go to a higher power where they believe whatever restriction will be lifted. Okay, so there is some
analogy. I agree on some places now. Natural analogy.
Please, sir.
In this world, I will buy na I still go to work
Okay, yes, I hear that.
It depends on if you otis each other. Opposite the jatani. One day work if you go sim negasi ukungo. If how otuhasi will die, how dry you go. Yes, and go. Man uncle, I'm going go see Uncle Dubai, side by. Instead of since won't water. I can take away today. Man, I'm going to go 5 or 6 years. Oh, go. That's the end. So you learn from all these things. Nature, it's try what fast. Yeah, it's try me go man. That's why I say I cannot condemn anybody. Isn't it fine, you cannot escape from it. The only thing name man owner, he decide to give each other. If I address you, you not try him to escape. And never deceive when you deceive where like a forgiveness of sin. One day there is nobody's forgiving you anything. Nobody's forgiving you anything. Oh, we decide if you cholo. Try to campo in a woolly and in fact, Okulumaka, some of we game in the past. Some of them came into effect like second or third generation.
The consequences you mean?
Some of those things took time for those. When you do wrong, I'm steady. What if you do wrong? Go on your way, define all these things. Let's not be making.
That was why I asked you the question.
Generalization.
People that feel that they are poor because some people manipulated them spiritually, are they right to go to make money rituals
in order to open up their flow?
Yes.
Are they right to go and solve that problem? Put it that way. You didn't create a ritual because ritual has been given bad label.
Okay.
I'm on in a haka. Okay. If only if I had draw, you just want to solve that problem. When we go, if we mean that well, that's yam and cocoyam, no ya like that means hunger. As I had that FIFA, I had a luna. I go golofa. When if a man have wages solve for that problem. We do it a gene. That's what I'm saying. Some of those things took time. The team Potter. My nature want to quick action. That's what will cost you because you are now breaking the natural order of things. Natural order of things actually solve a problem. No, you take time for that thing to come into effect.
Okay.
Evangelist
Christian, Toby has said there's a time to be bad and there's a time to be good. And he also said, what would be good? It depends on the type you want to go and do. As a Christian, as an evangelist, what do you think? What's your stance on this?
The thing is that being good doesn't mean that being incompetent, being stupid.
Okay.
So even a good man can fight. Bible says fight the good fight of faith. A good man can fight the fight of God, but that fight is still good. But denying there is bad in the society is not true. There is no thing good and that's and there.
No. Let
me allow
okay.
The thing is that we know there is evil. We know there is darkness, and we know that darkness is bad. If you go through the land, you see the lamentation of the families as a result of the evil of their fathers. You will see the Ezeikolomuo's families. I ain't get there. I see the effect. I see many houses that people don't enter anymore. And in many houses, there in Onitsha, a house still crying, still standing here, going banana, still standing here. So the person did it and it affects him. But black powers are evil. And Jesus is light. There is forgiveness. That's why Jesus died on the cross of Calvary to offer us righteousness.
So what's the difference between black power? Do you have white power? Can you explain?
There is white power, white witches. There is black witches. Are they serving the same masters? I don't want to go there because it's not the top.
Yeah, exactly.
It will take us off because it's a great thing. But what I'm saying is that evil is evil.
Yeah.
You take someone's side, someone's only side, because you believe you can solve your problem with it. You kidnap a child, a day-old child, and pound the child and make money out of it. And I stand here to tell you that thing is for your defense. You got to talk. No, it's evil.
Before they come in, sir, there was an instance they gave that there is a time when you should do bad,
And there's a time where you should do
and
good.
that was what my colleague asked. Now let me try to rephrase. He gave an instance: if a young boy slaps him, he's not to slap him twice. In the Bible, we are told if someone slaps you here, please turn the other. At what point should a Christian be bad? If a Christian should be bad,
I must agree in some certain
Submissions?
submission to him. Bible says there is time for everything. There is time for battle.
There's time to slap.
For peace. There is time to embrace. At time not to embrace. There is time for everything. But that a young man slapped me, and I ought to teach him for his good, to bring him up. I can only be bad if I wouldn't punish him.
Okay.
I'll ask you a direct question.
If I don't punish that young man, I am bad.
Okay.
If a
But
20-year-old
if-
boy
if-
slaps you, evangelist, would you slap him back?
If a 20-year-old boy slaps me
As an evangelist,
as an evangelist, and he has no justification, he has no justification, he has no right, he just slapped me.
no, what led to the slap was that you were driving and he was driving, and there was maybe a misunderstanding. You know, maybe you nearly hit him, and then two of you came down from the
Man, I
vehicle.
slap, he slapped.
While you were kind of engaging in who is right and who
By
is wrong,
spirit-
he slapped you.
by-
Would you slap him back as a man of God?
the point of
By
justification.
earthly maturity and spiritual maturity, I don't need to waste my time. I don't talk to Okada. Many Okadas have called me names. If you answer every name called, they are calling you on the.
We are not talking
You will be
about name
distracted
calling.
from
Even
where you're
We are
slapping,
talking about
I
slapping.
can go away.
Okay, so I think
I have
in
the
other
freedom.
words, he has answered the
I have
question.
freedom to go away.
I think in other words, yeah, I think it was.
There is forgiveness.
I think it was.
Nze want to come in
and
in
he
what
will
you
come in.
said.
I think it was in Proverbs 22:3 that he said, "A prudent man sees danger and flee."
27:12.
Yes, a prudent man sees danger and flee.
And flee.
A wise man sees danger, but a fool would see danger and will
And
embrace
embrace
it.
with both
So are you
hands.
trying to say that you're the prudent man who would see a man slapping
Socially,
and
I'm
see
going
you're perceiving danger, then you flee, right?
Yes.
So as far as you're concerned, evangelist, you would, as a prudent man, you run away. As a wise man, you run away.
But
as for what Nze said,
On that
for
scenario
you,
that he was asked.
Let me
On the
just.
scenario he was
Okay,
asked. There was a
create a
particular
scenario
want
for
to
him.
come
Create
in.
a
They
scenario
want
for
to
him.
come
scenario he
in.
asked him.
Okay, create a
Let
scenario
him
for
talk.
him.
They will tell you, oh no nilo, oh if you nilo, emechie mono.
Because you're Nze.
Yes, now if you nilo, emechie mono. When ki inside, emechie ono. So it depends. You have created a particular scenario. Nya kan na gwa no zalie. Oh, when you inside
Justification, exactly.
public,
Okay,
how you behave in
Let me
public
create a
is different
scenario.
from how you behave.
Evangelist, as Nze is now, and all that name is spiritual torso. When you can, maybe he looks for your trouble now, and you hear.
We are
that-
getting too personal.
No,
Oh, okay,
exactly,
okay,
exactly.
okay, let me not get too personal.
Yes,
Okay,
I like that.
Let me use the
So thank
general
you.
meaning. No, evangelist is being economical. He doesn't want to come.
No, he has answered that
Okay.
question. I don't think
No,
we
what
should.
I'm trying to say is if you find out that someone is fighting you spiritually, if you find out that someone is fighting you spiritually, maybe as a native man, not as a Christian, what would you do? Would you look away?
Spiritually,
Yes.
in the spiritual, there is no forgiveness.
Oh wow.
I won't
Pastor
forgive
has
you.
speaking.
Oh wow.
I won't forgive. I will go to Orient. I will not oppress you. But once you come against me
You will not need God
spiritually,
to fight the battle.
listen, I am the custodian of God's power in me. God has deposited something powerful in me.
So you will fight back.
Spiritually,
Yes.
I will fight back.
Oh wow. Okay.
But physically, I will wait. Just before I came here, somebody entered into my property. So I went there to set. I discovered they have run away. And with apology, I will not lead you to take away my property. I will drive you to the point that if this now asks for my faith, I can only give up that thing because of that faith. I will not just go and fold your hands and have you come to my house and take
And
away
take away what
everything.
belongs to you.
And I will know.
And you say you're a Christian.
Bible said at in book of Luke chapter 18 verse 1 that a widow was in a city. A certain oppressor came after her property. She went to court. The court wouldn't comply. She continued until she recovered what belongs to her.
Yeah.
So what God is saying to us is there is a limit to everything.
Okay.
There's a limit to everything. When you see that your right is being trampled on, you can, of course you
can stand up for your rights.
But there is foolishness. If a 2-year-old boy spit on me and I stop to fight, I'm a foolish man.
Okay, thank you so much.
Exactly.
Let's open the phone line. Okay, do you have any other thing to say before we open the phone line?
Evangelist put about the evil of our forefathers. I think we should stop saying those kind of statements.
Okay.
The evil of our forefathers, because 100 or 150 years from now, some of our grandchildren might even say it to you. Some things that we say that our forefathers did evil, some of them they did it thinking that it was good. Life is better understood from hindsight. Some things you are doing now, you are terming them good. Maybe 150 years from now, the reality of that time, you show those things as evil.
Yeah.
Now, how will you feel for those children to start saying that you were evil? You are evil. Many things I accuse our forefathers. They did it to protect their own homestead.
Yeah, exactly.
So how can you condemn them? We are not supposed to condemn them. Then secondly, I must say this. Witchcraft. Please, witchcraft is not bad.
Oh wow.
We must understand what witchcraft is. We should stop condemning things that we do not understand, because we always quick to condemn things that we do not understand.
Can we tell us?
If I use the phone now, some of those things were the activities of Ndakpoko witchcraft 500 years ago.
The wishes.
See, let me tell you, you cannot make any scientific development without being a witchcraft, without being a witch, without understanding the power of witchcraft. Even in this evangelism, you cannot go deep without it. For you to sense those, as in, you don't see them physically, for you to stay in your home and sense those who are plotting evil against you, that's witchcraft.
Oh.
Okay, when you operate, as in whatever power you acquire, what do you do with it? That's what that is where they start saying good or bad. Power in itself, just like money. Power in itself is not good or bad. Oh yeah, acquire like if
What are you using it for?
okay. This power so
wow.
Please, witchcraft is not bad, and I'm encouraging people to understand witchcraft, because if our people really want to go into scientific development, technological development,
they have to embrace witchcraft.
Yes, they want to embrace it.
Okay, he wants to react because we need to open our phone. Our time is almost up. Evangelist,
we know we can't exhaust this in one day.
No.
Please. Evangelist, I want you to react to this before we open the phone lines.
Every there is light, there is darkness.
Okay.
When we talk about witchcraft, we're talking about dark powers of Satan.
Okay.
And we know it is evil. It is everywhere.
Okay.
There is power of God. The power of God is not witchcraft.
Wow.
So it's opposed to witchcraft and everything. We don't serve the same God. The God of the Bible said, thou shalt have no other God beside me. The God of witchcraft is everything. So we know that even the people that invokes, even the tradition knows that this God is true, that abhors, who is a jealous God. He punishes every generation to generation. That is evil of our father exists. Let's go into the street. There are families lamenting, and even the traditionalists do some certain things to appease the gods, the acquired nemesis. We can't say there is no recompense, there is no nemesis. There is. In the land is, people are crying, weeping. The land is lamenting under darkness, and people are looking for ways. You see a particular family, they are wiped out, and the traditional man says it's because your father killed a person, it's because your father killed a slave, it's because your father went out to Ijabode to borrow power to do this, and they have to do this and do this and do it. It will take. So let's not deny the fact.
All right. Because of what
I don't want to be Ezeikolomuo.